Welcome to Surviving the Fuckery, where we're just trying to survive all the fuckery that's going on in the world today. Today's video is dedicated to all the people who have ever been called conspiracy theorists. Now, in case you've been living under a rock somewhere, there's a lot of theories about what exactly happened during the April 8th eclipse. And a lot of people are concerned with what NASA and CERN conjured up that day. Now, that being said, enjoy. What's the matter with the world? Has the world gone mad? Ain't nothing wrong with the world. It's the people that's in it.
Did anyone else notice the strange name of the project that NASA is activating on the day of the eclipse during the path of totality? What are you talking about? It's Project APEP. They're launching 3 rockets towards the fucking eclipse. And APEP's also the name of the serpent god that was supposed to usher in the age of darkness and chaos for mankind. I don't think that's a thing. Of course it's a thing. Look here. Pause to read. That doesn't mean anything. You're just being silly. This is starting to remind me of Enki and Enlil. Are you talking about the Anunnaki and the stories of Gilgamesh? Yeah. I'm not saying this is the end of the world, but it feels like it's possibly the end of the world. I just wanted to watch anime. Well, in case you want to know what the path of totality is, meaning that the people that'll be able to see the actual full eclipse, I can show you. I didn't ask, but okay. Here are the cities. Pause to read. Project CERN is also turning back on their giant hadron collider on the same exact day of the eclipse. You mean the particle accelerator that's like 18 miles long that's supposed to be trying to recreate the God particle? Yeah, that thing. And make sure to look out for the Devil's Comet as well. See here. Pause to read. Yeah. I guess we're all just effed in the A.
Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a very urgent message for the chosen. Now, many of you have been calling attention to the 3 rockets that NASA is preparing to shoot up at the solar eclipse on April 8th, okay? Now, apparently, these rockets are being shot at the solar eclipse in order to measure how the sudden disappearance of sunlight impacts the Earth's atmosphere. Now, this video is in regards to, well, actually, it's not a video, it's a TV series, okay? Now, this TV series is called Theodosis. I'm going to play a clip. I want you all to pay close attention to what's said, and I'm going to help to explain to you all what this means and what their agenda and plan is.
Do you have the eye?
No. The amulet has a transformation curse protecting it.
Do you know the removal spell?
I'm working on it.
Looks like you're running out of time.
Don't worry about me. I'll get us the eye.
No need. Our master has made other plans.
What plans?
They don't concern you.
All hail Arpep.
Chaos is coming.
So as you can see, this scene, he said, all hail Apep. And after he said that, they showed the snakes on both of their wrists to symbolize that they were a part of the same team. And she said, chaos is coming, okay? Now, Apep is known as the enemy and the serpent of rebirth. Now, this god Apep is very important to take note of because it's also known as Adophis. And in the in ancient Egypt, it embodied the energy of chaos, dissolution, and darkness. He was one of the main nemesis of the sun god Ra, and also the opponent of Ma'at and the Egyptian goddess of order and truth. the rockets are actually called APEP, A-P-E-P, okay? The rockets are named after this god that was mentioned in this TV series when he said, all hail APEP, and she said, our masters have a plan. Now remember, the whole objective behind why they're doing this in this TV series is because they're saying that they need to gain access to the Eye of Horus, but that the Eye of Horus has a protection spell surrounding it so that they do not have access to it. And so they're trying to figure out how to gain access to be able to remove that spell so that they can then obtain the power of that energy. They want to obtain the power of the energy of the Eye of Horus so that they can do spell work, cast dark magic over the entire planet, because the objection is to destroy and to maintain power.
NASA has stated that they will be launching 3 rockets in the sky during the solar eclipse, and they claim that they are studying the Earth's upper atmosphere, and they would name these rockets APEP. Now, APEP would be an ancient Egyptian deity. He would also be called Apophis. APEP is a god of chaos. He is known to bring judgment and order. You guys have to understand that we have ancestors in higher dimensions, and they are coming back to bring balance.
Apophis was depicted as a great serpent and sometimes as a colossal crocodile. He was an incarnation of disorder and destruction, the supreme incarnation of disorder and destruction, and the arch nemesis of Ra, whom Apophis fought ad nauseum, the two of them meeting in the underworld each night and battling for the fate of all creation. The eyes of Apophis were especially perilous, and his terrible roar was said to be deafening, able to resound throughout the entire underworld. The movement of his body shook the earth, causing earthquakes, and the hidden sandbanks in the Nile that were so treacherous to ships were equated with his coils. Medieval dragons are thought to perhaps be modeled after a hybrid representation of Apophis that conflated both his snake and crocodile forms. And the python, which could unhinge its jaw to swallow large prey whole, is thought to have been a principal inspiration for Apophis, in terms of both appearance and action, the latter being to symbolically swallow and destroy the world by killing Ra. There was a plethora of fierce and frightening phenomena associated with Apophis, including thunder, earthquakes, darkness, disorder, storms of every kind, and chaos.
Bill Gates thinks of himself as God, in control of the solar system. And that's why Bill Gates is now backing something called sun-dimming technology that would reflect sunlight out of the Earth's atmosphere, causing global cooling.
So we all know about this guy and his agenda to block the sun. And if we follow this very powerful book that we call the Bible, then shouldn't the Bible allude to this? Joel chapter 2 verse 31. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood. But let's zero in on the sun shall be turned into darkness. Oh, okay. Interesting. Bill Gates' venture aims to spray dust into the atmosphere to block the sun. What could go wrong? You all know the saying, as above, so below. Well, let me give you a new saying. As physically, so spiritually. Psalms 84:11. For the Lord thy God is a sun, S-U-N. Just as the sun provides life for all things, so is the Most High God. As they want to block out the physical sun, so they want to block out the spiritual sun, the Most High, allowing darkness physically and spiritually.
One last question. Have you ever seen the sun set at 3 p.m.?
Aye, once, when I was sailing round the Arctic.
Shut up, you! Take one last look at the sun, Springfield.
Hey! I've been in Reno for 6 weeks. Did I miss anything?
So this is a path that the eclipse on April 8th is supposedly going to go on. And this was from 2017, 7 years ago when the eclipse came through. So on this path in 2017, there were 7 towns named Salem, which in biblical terms is supposed to mean peace. On the path happening April 8th, there's supposedly 7 towns named Nineveh. And where those two paths cross, there's a town named Rapture in Indiana. Some biblical scholars claim that when Jonah arrived at Nineveh, that an eclipse was taking place. According to the story, Jonah spent 3 days in the belly of the whale, and they're comparing that to the 3 days of darkness. Meanwhile, NASA will be shooting 3 rockets at it called the Serpent Deity, and many are saying the serpent's tongue is actually on the NASA logo. And while NASA's shooting rockets at the eclipse, CERN's going to fire up their big collider. Yeah, they're going to be smashing protons and photons and opening portals and changing everybody's reality and shit. Or whatever the fuck they're doing. 16 miles long with smashing power to smash the smallest shit you could ever imagine, and we can't even see it. And apparently we have several colliders in the United States as well. I don't know if they're going to turn them on. All this happening while the Devil's Comet glides by Earth.
Is this company trying to free the devil? I know this sounds crazy, but CERN is a company that is heavily funded and claims that their work helps uncover what the universe is made out of and how it works. But there's some things that truly scare me. For one, did the company go out of their way to build a facility on where the devil himself lives and sits on his throne? You see, in the Bible, in Revelation chapter 2, verse 13, Jesus says Satan's throne is in the same city in which Saint Antipas was unalived. Biblical researchers found that Saint Antipas's life was taken under Emperor Nero in a city called Lyon, which is known today as Geneva, Switzerland. That's exactly where CERN so happened to have built their company's facilities and campus. If you pay attention to CERN's logo, it strangely has 3 6s, and you know exactly what that means. Elon Musk himself calls CERN's technology demonic. Oh, and if that's not weird enough for you, they have a statue on their campus of the god Shiva, which is known as the Destroyer. Anyways, they have a machine called the Hadron Collider, the largest and most powerful particle accelerator ever built. It has only had 2 runs in its lifetime. Some people believe that this machine is actually a portal to another dimension, and that their plan is to work and find a way to release the devil himself out of hell, which would not only release him, but a bunch of demons down there as well. Now, there is some science to this, because it creates incredibly high energy collisions with particles, which can theoretically open up a portal or tear the fabric of space-time. There are other concerns concerning CERN. Try saying that 10 times fast. A genius and protege coined the name one of the world's smartest kids, who also created a free energy machine at the age of only 13, has warned us and said that he believes that CERN's experiments are threatening to break the fabric of our existence, and they have already moved us to a parallel reality that is similar to our own.
If there are other universes, they're next to ours, and this actually relates to my theory of the Mandela effect and how the particle accelerator altered the weight of one electron and therefore destroyed our universe and shifted us into the universe that's directly next to it, and therefore things are different in this universe.
Why can't they move me to a reality where there's no bills, no rent? This earth is ghetto. I mean, we got good chicken though. We got some good chicken. Now, you may think this is all a bunch of malarkey, but there's been experts in the science community who have actually came out and warned us of the same thing the kid did. They're saying CERN running these experiments could create a black hole that would devour our world. People all over the world was concerned that CERN might destroy us all. Okay, portals to hell, switching realities, creating black holes. There can't possibly be any more concerns, right? Sadly, there are. I'm just as shocked as you. Now, you know I said that people believe that CERN is opening portals to different realities or a different dimension, maybe even different worlds. People believe that this is where these beings called reptilians, or what we see as aliens, are coming from. They're not traveling billions and billions of light years of space to get here. CERN is just inviting them through their front door. I mean, there's hundreds of species that have said to be walking amongst us today. Pleiadianos, the Greys, the Arcturianos. That many species can't be traveling through space to hit Earth.
Professor Frank will now throw a switch, which will either answer certain obscure questions of subatomic physics or destroy the universe.
Oh my God, Particle.
What is it, Professor?
You can tell your grandchildren you were here when humanity finally learned that this accelerator is much too small to tell us anything important.
Oh. Thanks a lot, Lisa.
That money could have been used for a war.
What? Ah! No one takes Willie's mope! Take them up! Take them up!
Huh? A mini black hole. Oh no! I gotta take it away before more clueless kids fall into it.
Geronimo!
As rich, as poor and shackless.
Lisa, do you have a stray dog down there?
It's a lot worse than a stray dog.
I told you every fucking day is something about this eclipse that's supposed to happen on April 8th, and look what just happened. NASA has slipped up and told us exactly what they have planned. There was this press conference where NASA was talking about what they have planned for the April 8th eclipse, and he slipped up and said the word ellipse. A lot of people were just saying, oh, that is just a slip of the tongue. It was not a slip of the tongue. And if you know what an ellipse is, I'm about to explain it to you and why it's fucking crazy that they're doing this on April 8th. Not only NASA, but CERN too. And if you have CERN doing this particular experiment that they are launching on April 8th with the Particle Hadron Collider, and then you have NASA saying that they're going to be shooting 3 rockets at the sun at an exact moment of time to try to hit the ionosphere, baby, we are in for some shit. Before, NASA was trying to say that this was just them trying to detect what happens in the ionosphere during an eclipse and see how it affects radiation, how it affects cellular network, and all that other shit. So that's what they were pushing, right? Yeah, he just blew the whole fucking cover by saying ellipse, because now we know what they're really doing on April 8th. Before I explain to you what an ellipse is, I'm gonna play you the clip of the NASA specialist doing a press conference and where he actually says that it is an ellipse.
Then moments like this, a total solar ellipse. It's a moment when millions of people across North America will look to the heavens as the moon passes in front and between the sun and the earth. And it's a rare sight that we haven't seen in 7 years. And unusual things start to happen.
So y'all clearly heard him enunciate total solar ellipse and then go forward to try to backtrack and cover himself up and say that when the moon passes the sun, and then goes back into talking about very unusual and strange things that will happen. Why would that be strange that it's just an eclipse? Wrong, it's an ellipse. Now I'm going to give you a depiction of what an ellipse is, and then I'm going to put it together for you. This is the most accurate depiction that I can find that was easily relatable, that you guys can understand. It comes from this TikToker up there. So basically there are 2 points, right? And these 2 points, no matter what, they all come back to this point. And as you can see, they are creating these wave-like things. And I'm going to tell you what these 2 points are going to represent, because no matter where these 2 points are, one still goes to the other as far as wavelengths, frequency, and energy. And when those 2 things happen, stuff is created from that energy. Remember how I told you CERN was doing something on April 8th? One dot is CERN and the other dot is NASA. And together they are going to fucking create something that I don't even want to talk about. You have NASA, who is shooting 3 rockets at the solar eclipse at the exact time that the sun is passing the moon. They are trying to do an ellipse. And then you have the Hadron Collider that will be powering up and playing with fucking dark matter and ghost at the same time where the sun is passing over the moon. Again, these are happening in different points at the same time. You couple that with the fact that thousands of people are going to be looking up at what is going on. They are going to be hitting the ionosphere while CERN is down here fucking with the other whatever is down here. the atmosphere, the frequencies, the pressures, because CERN experiments with dark matter, dark particles. They open black fucking holes. And if you don't believe me about those 3 rockets here, the purpose of these space missions is to delve into the study of the atmospheric disturbance triggered by the solar eclipse and gain an insight on its possible impact on satellite signals and radio frequencies. They launched the rockets will carry specific equipment into the ionosphere to accomplish this objective. The study will focus on atmospheric disturbance triggered by the eclipse. While they're shooting those 3 rockets at the sun, past the sun into the atmosphere, you have CERN, who is turning on their particle hadron collider for the first time in multiple years. And if you are unfamiliar with that particle hadron collider in CERN, they be fucking with some shit down there. And it literally draws so much power to this hadron collider that they can't power small towns near it because it's sucking up all the energy. The solar eclipse produces energy and solar flares on its own that are happening behind all of that. You take that and you have 2 points in time where you are basically fucking with what's up above and fucking with what's below, and you're telling me that ain't nothing crazy gonna happen? I would be surprised if a scene from Ghostbusters didn't open up and shit started flying right out of the air and coming down and fucking killing us. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I'm just telling you, I've been studying this eclipse since the first. Fuck it being biblical. Even though it is biblical, we need to pay attention to what they're trying to open up. They're opening up portals and gateways and harnessing energy from the solar eclipse to do it. And if you don't believe me, look at the last time they powered on this machine. Fuck it, just look at 2008 when we literally went into a Mandela effect and everything fucking changed. Pay attention, and I don't care what nobody says. You have people saying, oh, nothing's gonna happen, nothing that you see, because you're in a different fucking dimension and frequency where you don't see shit anyway. So the people who are of a higher frequency and dimension, we're gonna see it. We're gonna feel it. It's gonna be all around you. This shit's gonna get really scary and demonic. But again, I'm just a conspiracy theorist. These are my own ideas, beliefs. Don't take any of it as fact. Discretion advised.
NASA clearly said there were going to be an ellipse during the eclipse. Do you know what an ellipse is? If you don't, listen. This should be the most shared video I ever put out. I am going to show you why you do not want to be in the path of totality during this eclipse. And it is because of an ellipse. I can't believe they're getting ready to do this to us. If you ever had a kidney stone too large to be passed, they use a lithotripter, which is focused energy of an ellipse. Same concept. And this breaks down stones. So what do you think is going to happen when they fire up something as powerful as CERN from one side of the world to the other, focusing on the path of totality? NASA did a press conference. There will be an ellipse with the eclipse, and they are firing up CERN. And we also know that this goes hand in hand with HAARP. So you have a focal point here, a focal point there, and this only works if there is a domed roof. Let that sink in, people. Now, back to business. Now, I've had kidney stones, and I've also had one of my kidney stones broken down with lithotripsy, which means that they can focus frequency to a specific spot to break things up. I showed you all the path of totality, and I showed you that there would be a new river carved from Louisiana all the way up through New York along the path of totality. And they are going to use an ellipse to accomplish this.
Do you know that the pattern of 2 solar eclipses forming an X over the United States also happened in the early 1800s? Remarkably, the intersection of this century's solar eclipses will only be about 100 miles from where those of the 19th century crossed paths. The first solar eclipse occurred on June 16, 1806, with the second solar eclipse completing the X on September 17, 1811. The intersection happened over the New Madrid Fault area, which includes an area from Cairo in southern Illinois to nearby New Madrid, Missouri. On December 16, 1811, just 3 months after the second eclipse, a series of devastating earthquakes struck along the New Madrid fault line. The following quote comes from the New Madrid, Missouri website. The New Madrid earthquakes were the biggest earthquakes in American history. They occurred in the central Mississippi Valley, but were felt as far away as New York City, Boston, Montreal, and Washington, D.C. President James Madison and his wife Dolly felt them in the White House. Church bells rang in Boston. From December 16, 1811 through March of 1812, there were over 2,000 earthquakes in the central Midwest, and between 6,000 and 10,000 earthquakes in the boot heel of Missouri, where New Madrid is located near the junction of the Ohio and Mississippi rivers. In the known history of the world, no other earthquakes have lasted so long or produced so much evidence of damage as the New Madrid earthquakes. 3 of the earthquakes are on the list of America's top earthquakes. The first one on December 16, 1811, a magnitude of 8.1 on the Richter scale. The second on January 23, 1812 at 7.8, and the third on February 7, 1812 as much as 8.8 magnitude. Now mind you, these were not on the same day as the eclipse, which formed an X over the New Madrid fault line, but 3 months later. So will this happen again? I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Behold the power of the New York earthquake!
Didn't you originate in New Jersey, though?
I mean, I grew up there, but I moved to the city. I'm the New York earthquake! And there is nothing on earth as powerful as me!
What is this candy-ass little fool talking about?
Oh my God, it's the eclipse.
Yeah. And you listen up good, earthquake. You want to do a little shimmy shake and try to steal my thunder? Well, what you gonna do when the solar eclipse runs wild on you? Come Monday, all of America will be covered in eternal darkness.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard the eclipse is only supposed to last like 4 minutes.
Which is gonna feel like an eternity when you're staring at me through a shoebox.
Well, you listen to me. You pathetic excuse to make the moon exciting. If you thought I was done after one earthquake, just wait until you feel the aftershocks.
Something weird is going on with CERN and the April 8th eclipse. On this day, as the moon cloaks us in darkness, CERN's Large Hadron Collider, the titan of science, will push boundaries like never before. They're ramping up to test the world's most potent particle accelerator during the eclipse. Why? To hunt for dark matter, the invisible force believed to hold our universe together. But here's where it gets spine-tingling. The same day witnesses the Devil's Comet. Some think this alignment with CERN's experiment is no mere coincidence. CERN, home to the Shiva statue, dances with the cosmos's mysteries. Are they merely searching, or could they unlock a portal to unseen dimensions?
If you take a look at where it's actually at, okay, a large portion of CERN is located in the territory of St. Genus Poli, probably not pronouncing that right. In Roman times, it was called Apollicum. The town and the temple were dedicated to Apollyon, the destroyer. So this is ancient Horus. This is Shiva. The town Apollyon literally is dedicated to the god of destruction, the god of chaos, the destroyer. And this entire Hadron Collider is right in the middle of Apollyon. Now, why is that so important? Because if you go to the book of Revelation, this is what we read. It says in chapter 9, verse 1, 2, and 11, to him was given the keys of the bottomless pit, and he opened the bottomless pit. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue his name is Apollyon.
Season 24, Episode 9. Homer Simpson is preparing a bunker fully stocked with provisions for his family, anticipating something dreadful on the horizon. Shortly after, a solar superstorm strikes Springfield, a silent, invisible tempest sweeping through the town, causing severe consequences. This catastrophic event leads to a complete shutdown. No internet, no electricity, everything comes to a standstill. A solar superstorm could wipe out the internet for weeks or even months or even forever. The portrayal of a solar superstorm in the episode aligns with the potential real-world impact such an event could have. Interestingly, NASA has recently made a shocking discovery, a massive hole in the sun called the Coronal Hole. This hole, large enough to engulf 60 Earth-sized planets, is currently releasing solar storms at a staggering speed of 1.8 million miles per hour and could be headed to Earth fast. The last time the Earth experienced such a storm was in 1859. It was known as the Carrington event. The 2024 solar storm is predicted to be 60 times more powerful than the 1859 solar storm, possibly the strongest ever recorded in history. Such solar storms can have catastrophic effects on Earth, affecting satellite power grids, GPS, and potentially wiping out hard drives and the entire internet permanently. Might take decades for us to recover. It's only a matter of time.
I told y'all. Let me pitch myself down to a little guy so I can explain. Animals everywhere are freaking out right before this eclipse. Whales freaking out, cats freaking out, dogs freaking out, and now birds? This is a sign of the great shift. What's going to happen Monday during this eclipse? We don't know, but speculation is great tsunamis, great earthquakes, massive shifts in the magnetic field. That's what could be having these animals acting this way hours before the solar eclipse. I mean, total eclipse. Watch this video. Roll the tape. Everywhere.
Some are alive. That one just flew up to the window, but he's not even moving. But there's just a sidewalk full of dead freaking birds.
What's about to happen? What's coming? What are we about to experience? What are these animals telling us? Go look. There's whales, dogs, cats, now birds that are all acting weird hours before this total eclipse.
All ancient civilizations spoke about other bodies, other lights in the sky that may or may not be visible to us at any given time. It's crazy though, when you see solar eclipses, you don't see the moon at all. I remember as a kid, I'd like, where's the moon now? And it's like you just see this black circle and everything goes back to normal, it seems like. It's like, what the heck just happened?
On the total eclipse of the sun, the shadow that the moon casts on the Earth is only 70 miles wide. That is impossible, but then they come up with umbra and penumbra, and it's just stuff to confuse your mind. We have an infinitely far sun sending diagonal rays from the side and straight rays from the middle where they cross each other. It makes absolutely no sense. Why can't we see the moon approach the sun, eclipse the sun, or exit the sun? And we don't. We just see a black circle eclipsing the sun. We never see it next to the sun. Now people say, well, it's because the sun is so bright. When the moon is totally eclipsing the sun, you should be able to see the features on the moon. You should be able to with a regular camera, with your regular eyes, with an infrared camera, but it has never been seen.
The oldest ancient symbols, and it's the black sun, a celestial body that we perhaps can't see.
A lot of ancient civilizations always spoke about a black sun. It's like, why are they talking about a black sun for hundreds, if not thousands of years? And that information now is turned into, oh, the black sun is an evil thing. It's like, well, yeah, of course, that's what they're selling it. They're selling it to you as an evil thing to stay away from it. They already don't want you to like the real sun in the sky. They push it so far away. They want you to not care about it. There's a reason it's close to you. There's a reason it's here for us. There might be more suns and moons on the outskirts of Antarctica, on the outer lands. There might be more suns and moons. There might be more suns and moons in our world here, but we just can't see it.
Just to know that field of view going to be pick up the mesa following.
Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video entertaining and you received any kind of enjoyment from watching it, please subscribe, share it with others, hit that notification bell, and most importantly, don't forget to smash that like button and leave a comment. It truly makes a difference. YouTube's algorithms thrive on engagement, and your support ensures these videos reach a wider audience. It's worth mentioning that YouTube doesn't directly compensate creators like me for content. So if you'd like to support the channel, consider making a donation through the Cash App provided above. Your donations will go towards me having the time to create more videos for your enjoyment. Now, with all that being said, peace, and thank you for being a part of the Surviving the Fuckery community.